Okay, so today is going to be our first episode of within the community of Wolf Hearts. Yes. And today what we want to cover is we want to dive into one of the most raw and transformative challenges of our life, or moments in our relationship, which led to a separation. As how
reset.
my brain is ¿cómo que se dice eso?
Autistic now?
No,
because now we know.
No,
you took that test.
I'm not. Stop.
You took, babe, 79%. Okay. You said it yourself.
All right, but those are signs. I don't know. I might be. But anyways, so today we're going to dive into one of the most raw and transformative, moments of our relationship. So how we went from our separation, how that came about, and how, our separation also led my husband, Raul, into a mental hospital for like 3 days.
Doesn't sound as bad as it sounds, but yes.
Well, it is what it is. And, how he had to also, through that experience, face like deep insecurities that allowed him to kind of like just evolve from everything that he needed to evolve from. That has made our relationship now much more grounded in trust and, and just in growth in general. So this episode is for you if you're looking to just hear a different perspective about that. Sometimes challenges are going to turn into your greatest blessings. And a separation doesn't always mean that, it's over forever. Maybe sometimes it's just a catalyst for growth for the relationship or for both partners. So what we're going to start is, let's just start with like how we met real quick, just so that those that don't know our story just kind of like know.
My favorite.
Yeah.
My favorites.
Raul will sit here and tell you the whole stories for 2 hours.
Yeah.
In very
But we're not doing
detail.
That, but yes.
But no, we're not doing that. So, okay. So we met in 2013.
We met, yes.
Yes, we met. We
in
were together.
We met.
We were not official, but we were together.
Yes, thank you for saying that. We met in 2013. I met Angie.
Well, we met through Twitter.
We met through Twitter, yes. And then I saw Angie for the first time ever. She didn't see me, but I saw her.
Oh, that's true.
And it was in La Marina. And that was maybe like March, April. It was already getting nice outside. It wasn't that nice yet, but... And then we officially met in person, both of us, after we kind of got to know each other on Twitter. Shout out to Twitter, which is now X, right? It's called X now? Whatever it is.
We met in a very dark...
that shit is toxic as hell. Twitter is toxic.
Yeah.
So, and then after we spoke a little bit and stuff like that, we went into WhatsApp. Because Angie had an iPhone and I had a BlackBerry, and she couldn't stand the green bubbles when you speak to somebody that's not on iMessage. So we had to talk through WhatsApp. And I invited her out for my birthday. And that was the first time we met. And apparently she almost didn't make it out because she didn't want to go by herself. And I get it. But that's when we officially first met. August 8th of 2013.
Yeah, so we had been talking for a while on Twitter, and then we finally met in person because he invited me to his birthday party.
We were in Tonic.
Yeah. So then, we were, we hit it off right after that.
Yes, I saw a lioness because you had the blonde hair sticking out.
When I first met Raul, I always tell him this story because I can remember like in a slow motion, just because... It was like I recognized, like my soul recognized his soul. And it was interesting because it's like, oh, I know you. I don't know you, but I know you. It was interesting. Like I can't explain it because it felt like a slowed down movie for me because he was turning around while I was getting there. And it's like when we met eyes, it was like...
I was like Fabio turning around. He came out. Fabio just came out the beach, threw his water back, and just turned around. And
yeah. I mean, it wasn't like that in my mind, but something like that. Okay, so... we hit it off after that. We got engaged in...
Whoa! We got engaged like that?
Well, I'm saying...
There was no in-betweens? Jesus. No, we're not going to tell the whole story. I'm just joking. But yes, long story short, you got to say that.
Okay.
We officially became a couple officially.
And a date, I don't know, because he
January
created it.
18th, 2014. Officially. Time passes.
We were in a relationship.
Doing things, stuff. We met the girls. Well, this is an episode for itself, but we met our children.
Because
her kid. She met my kid. And then in 2017, I proposed to her for her birthday, October 12th, 2017. I proposed to her. She said yes. There's videos on Instagram on that. It was, very pretty. I think it was pretty awesome.
The engagement?
Cute. And I think it was dope the way I asked. I think nobody could ever done something like that. Like I used the kids. I used your mom, your brother, my mom.
It was a video.
Yeah, it was like a video. And then at the end, the children had to sign. Jaslene sign said, "Will you?" And then Jamie sign said, "Marry my dad." And then Angie had the ugly cry and all of that. And then we got married in 2019.
Yeah.
September 18th.
2 years later?
Yeah, September 18th, 2019. I'm the one that's good with dates. September 18th, 2019. We had Castile in 2020, October 23rd. And then we ended up moving from New Jersey to Miami in 2022. And then we lived in Miami for a year and a half. And then in December 16th, 2023 was when the separation officially took off.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So let's start where, what happened? Why did it come up like a separation start? Where did that come from? So I went through an awakening. So I went through a spiritual awakening. My life was being turned upside down, and I went through a spiritual awakening in 2021. 2021?
When we moved. 2022.
Oh, 20. I was confused at the time. It's been 3 years. But I went through an awakening. My awakening started with me realizing how unhappy I was in certain situations in my life. And it started with my career. So because, it started with my career. So I was, at that time I was in network marketing in Herbalife. And I was noticing how I was no longer fulfilled there. I was this is not for me. I'm not meant to be doing this. I don't want to do this. I had been going through a spiritual awakening, waking up to more to life than the material world. And it was almost like I was realizing, what is my mission or my purpose or my passions in this life? Is this really it? And I knew deep down inside of me that this wasn't it. So it started with my career. So I left that career. I literally was I'm done. I don't want to be a part of this. This is not for me. I fully, it had nothing to do with the company itself or anything like that. It's just things that it no longer aligned with who I was. I wanted to do spiritual work. I wanted to talk about spirituality, higher consciousness, stuff like that. How can we progress spiritually, etc. Because that's what truly my passion is, and so I left that. And so my life had been changing. I started to shift things. I started to notice things where I personally was not fulfilled. And so the first start to my noticing of unfulfillment started with my career, which then led me into my relationship. So it was kind of the next thing that I needed to kind of look into that needed to shift some way, somehow. So for me, within the relationship, I had started dancing in around, that time. Yeah. So I started dancing in 2023, and I became more of who I was that I ever been. And so it fulfilled me in a way that brought so much happiness to me, where it just kind of highlighted drastically where I was unhappy in other areas of my life.